Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks to everyone who has subscribed since my last video. I appreciate that a lot. In this video, I will analyze the statements of Larry Millete, the husband of Maya Millete, who was reported missing some 3 weeks ago. 39-year-old Maya was last seen on January 7th in Chula Vista, near her home in the San Miguel Ranch area. Before she went missing, Maya had gotten into an argument with her husband, Larry Millete.
We've been having, problems, for about a year. Kind of been up and down and stuff like that. But after that, I give her space.
So just tell me, so you got into an argument, and then the last time you saw her was actually in the house?
Yes,
okay.
Thursday.
So she didn't take a vehicle?
No.
No one saw her leave?
No, but on Friday, I could still hear her, but I didn't physically see her when I got home. But that's normal too, because we have lots of bedrooms, it's a 2-story house, and, we kind of I give her space.
When did you first notice that May was missing?
Saturday morning.
Okay. And tell me...
Her parents came by.
Mm-hmm. Just tell me, kind of walk me through the last time you saw her and what was going on.
Thursday night, we got into a kind of an argument.
He sounds very calm and is giving us a couple of unnecessary details, such as that the fights have been going on for about a year, the way their house looks, and that the argument was common.
We've been having, problems, for about a year. Kind of been up and down and stuff like that. But after that, I give her space.
So just tell me, so you got into an argument, and then the last time you saw her was actually in the house?
Yes,
okay.
Thursday.
So she didn't take a vehicle?
No.
No one saw her leave?
No, but on Friday, I could still hear her, but I didn't physically see her when I got home. But that's normal too, because we have lots of bedrooms, it's a 2-story house, and, we kind of I give her space. So, but that's why every time someone says Thursday, yes, it's physically, or, visually see her, but for me, it's Friday night. I can hear her, wrestling around, making dinner for herself in another bedroom, and I'm sleeping with the kids in another bedroom.
Okay.
So, upstairs and she's downstairs kind of deal, kind of like a roommate thing.
He seems to be trying to present himself as a good guy with statements such as he gave her the space that she needed and accepted the fact that they lived like roommates.
Giving each other space. Well,
sure.
I don't need the space. She always wants the space.
Got it. So it was Friday, and then you left or went somewhere and then came back and she wasn't there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I left her with my 2 girls because they do their homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just had my son with me. So when I came back, she was still there on Friday. We can hear her downstairs, after I'm done giving the kids baths and feeding them and everything.
The fact that the fights have been going on for about a year, as well as the fact that they have been merely coexisting in the same house, could be a red flag.
On Saturday morning, when her parents came by, her door was locked. I found the keys to the bedroom, and I opened it, and she was already gone.
But my question is, if he was respecting her need to be alone, as he claims, why did she have the need to lock herself in the bedroom? Did she lock herself in the bedroom because the fights were sometimes physical? He does have the need to mention that they had common fights. That could be an attempt to redirect the attention onto another issue. Also, he seems to be full of explanations rather than questions.
So maybe she went to a morning sunrise hike, because she didn't go jeeping because that's one of her other hobbies, the Jeep group. And, she would have taken that, so assumed maybe one of her friends picked her up and, they went hiking or wine tasting. She likes to go wine tasting in Temecula. That's her other thing. Or brunch, early morning. Yeah. After that, at night, okay, she hasn't come home yet, which is sometimes okay. She'd go out maybe for drinks or something. She usually doesn't drink a lot, but recently she's been, doing that. The latest she would be home like 2:30 or 3:30 in the morning. After that, that's kind of like out of the ordinary.
Sure.
So my sister-in-law was recommending, hey, maybe we should call the cops now. I was like, well, give her some time. But we initially got to the police report. They're like, hey, you got to check the hospitals first. So this is like around 12 o'clock at night. And it's like, okay, they start checking the hospitals. 12:30, they finally filed the police report. And I was like, well, maybe give her some time, because I'd call like at 4:30 because, give her some time if it's really, really out of the ordinary. So after that, they started the investigation. Well, 3 cops came. I let them search the house. They looked all the houses, all the cars, and then we've just been waiting. And then I got the NCIS called me, and then he was able to search the house and everything. My in-laws have been here the whole time. They start doing the neighbors, the cameras and everything.
And again, he's giving us some unnecessary details, such as the information about the neighbors and Maya's hobbies.
Trying to figure out if when she left, like they can see it, but they can't really because it was nighttime kind of deal. We're just basically trying everything and anything, trying to find her.
Well, Larry, just tell me, how worried are you, and what do you think happened? Where do you think she is?
Before I wasn't really worried. I was kind of like worried, but I wasn't like totally worried until the birthday. I was thinking, okay, maybe like she's just blowing off steam, just like doing what she told me before, where she wants everyone to leave her alone. Because before I used to get her family involved, like, hey, she's not coming home. And then why'd you call my family? I just want everyone to leave me the thing alone. But I was like, okay, this time I think she stepped up her game. Like she's blocking everyone. But now that she missed our daughter's birthday, and like with all this pressure with the media and everything, there's something keeping her from contacting us. So my sister-in-law is, I don't really try to think about that stuff because it's like mind-numbing, but I'm trying to stay positive. But when people are telling me, hey, maybe she got into an accident while she's hiking, and she can't get her phone, I'm like, well, her phone would be right next to her. Like she wears fabletics, so it would be in her pocket. So worst case scenario, I don't know what's keeping her from contacting anyone, but this pressure should be enough pressure to say, hey, you guys, I'm okay.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure what to think, but I'm still trying to keep my head up, trying to say, hey, keep positive and say I'm hoping like she'd just come home. Even though this whole situation is embarrassing, I don't know what to think, but the longer it's going, the more like surreal it gets, because what they say is like the first 48, 72 hours is the most critical. I've seen enough movies and documentaries about this kind of stuff. So like the worst case scenario is basically something's happened like very terrible. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right. I mean, how worried are you? Do you think there's still a chance that she could voluntarily have left and she just needs time? How worried are you?
That's what I'm hoping for. And this is like really whoa, come on, why did you have to do this, the whole thing? But I'm really worried and shaken. But again, like most of the time it's just numbing, like, surreal kind of deal. I'm just worried about her and, trying to keep things normal with the kids, because I know they don't show it, but, it's really affecting them. So
when she didn't surface for your daughter's birthday, that was really unlike her.
That was the pinnacle. Yeah, that was like a gut-wrenching feeling. And, you break down a little bit. It's like, well, she would never not even say, hey, honey, happy birthday kind of deal. So. And
and your 11-year-old's old enough. Has she asked? Like, are they asking?
Yeah, she's asking, but she's kind of like me, keep yourself in the shell. Don't really want to, open up.
He made some interesting statements, such as, she needs space, not me. We have been living like roommates. She stays out late. She drinks. She missed her daughter's birthday. The whole situation is embarrassing. The kids are affected. We have kids. She can't do this kind of stuff. All these statements show that he has been harboring some resentment and anger towards her. His sentence that something is keeping her away from contacting them is very weird in my opinion and could be a red flag.
How many times has she left before, and how long has it been?
In the past, like before, she would just like stay at the park or park somewhere or go like in the parking lot. And the that's years back. Even this past year, she just stay away. This year, she'd like go out, drink with friends or stay at a friend's house, and try to sleep it off. Couple months, she's been, like wanting her space, so she'll go out with family to places, and she'll just go out for days and stuff like that. But at least I know where she's at.
So how when she's gone, right? So, but when she has left, how long? What is the longest she's been gone for?
Like maybe a day for like till 2:30 or 3:00 in the morning, kind of deal.
So never more than a day or two.
Oh yeah, never more than a day.
Okay, never more than a day,
yeah.
and then you always kind of knew where she was at. Okay.
Not more than a day.
Okay.
Basically, or the next day. Again, I always tell her we have 3 kids. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. And
it's also interesting that he says that Maya often goes away for several days, but then later he says that the longest she was gone was 1 day.
Yeah, she would never be that irresponsible not to say, "Hey, I'm okay."
Was there anybody that wanted to hurt her? Was there any other guy? I hate to ask, but
like I don't know. I told the police, she really likes hiking.
Okay.
Wine tasting, so Temecula and stuff like that. But I don't know what else to think. Like, who would kidnap her? Or
would she go hiking by herself?
She has, yes, but that's the ones like close to the house. We have a hiking trail in San Miguel Park, or San Miguel over here. That's the only time she would go by herself. And yes, she has before in the beginning, but she would take her car. So right. She would go to the one, I don't know, the Santee one or the one in the Mesa. I forgot. There's a mountain there.
Yeah.
But, yes, those ones she would go by. So, but most of the time she would go with hiking mamas, with Shane. And then, she's like one of the leaders, and then everyone else is like whoever shows up to that group.
So she was a pretty experienced hiker.
Not experienced. She was training for this hike that me and her tried like 10 years ago before we had kids. Mm-hmm. Down the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it takes about a day. Yeah. To go down there. So she's been hiking and hiking. It's kind of a stress relief. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to do this, like a 7 hiking trail, like, Twin Sisters, Devil's Peak, or Potato Chip Rock, and all the ones that she keeps mentioning. And I was like, well.
But she would have taken her car, or there would have been a friend. Or
yes, exactly. If she didn't have her car, a friend would have to pick her up.
Okay. So
that's the only reason why I was like, maybe she's wine tasting or hiking with a friend, because she's not jeeping because her car's here. Right. She has her own vehicle, and she has a Jeep. Like, she specifically goes for Jeep groups.
Just like the adoptive parents of Orson and Orrin West, the missing boys, he seems to be planting the idea that she was kidnapped while hiking. He uses the word kidnapping. He mentions that she was often hiking by herself and that she was not an experienced hiker.
So what has this been like, Larry, just emotionally for you? I know you said you're kind of just numb and you're trying to take care of 3 children, but I mean, how are you doing emotionally with this? I mean, this is...
Trust me, I've been emotionally, physically, mentally drained. It's no sleep, not eating. Just my face looked like it just aged, like, I don't know. But, the main thing is I can't really think straight.
I also find it interesting that during this ordeal, he has the time to examine his face for signs of aging. Just saying. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the husband. Do you think he's acting in a suspicious manner? That's all for this video, and see you next time.
Wise men say if I can't help falling in love with you, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole